In this daily drop, we're going to take a look at Ulanzi's Garage Kit light. So let's go. All right, so I think this is kind of a fun one. Yes, you heard correctly. It's called the Garage Kit light. And why it's called that, I have no idea. But as you have probably started to figure out, I can't help myself. So this is the little Ulanzi light that I've used in the past. I've got a couple of these. They go from 2700, I believe. Yeah, 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. They're little COB lights. They have a reflector on the inside, and they're cute. They're rechargeable. They can run off of USB-C. They come with lots of little accessories. You've got a grid, a snoot. You've got barn doors. So they're pretty cool, but I was looking, as I do, on the Amazons, and I found this thing. And I'm going to admit right off the bat that this is definitely, to a certain degree, in the novelty category. But at the same time, because of what I do here on the channel and the educational content, I figured I'd pick up a couple of these. They're about $50 US each. They come with all of this stuff here, except for the battery bank. And this thing draws 5 to 10 watts. You need 5 volts, 2 amps. So pretty much any power bank will run this thing. It comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable, but you could obviously use USB-C to USB-C. And it comes with this little tripod here. I'm going to say right off the bat, you've got to treat this thing gingerly. Again, think of it kind of like a novelty. I'm buying this so it can be on my shelf, but maybe for tabletop stuff, it has some application. So you can see here it adjusts, but you really have to be careful with this stuff because in my opinion, if you tighten that down too much, it's probably going to break. So adjustable though, look, you can change the height here. Kind of ridiculous. And here's where it gets even crazier. We'll talk about the modifiers in a minute. So CCT, correlated color temperature, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. We go from 2500 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin. Now, this light definitely runs, at least the ones that I got, they run a little magenta. So you're probably going to want to put some plus green on there. I've got some 1/8 and some 1/4 on here, and I could, put that in front of there, and we could start to hopefully get closer to a white light that has less of a spike in one way or the other. I may have to back that off a little bit. But you can see it goes all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin, so we get very cool light. And that's at 4%, by the way, so let's just be fun, and I'll just crank it all the way up to 100. And you can see that it's got some output here. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of fun. And then the other thing, I mean, it's actually adjustable. And this little controller here, by the way, will attach to the tripod. Again, gingerly, be careful. Let me just crank this down a little bit. And there you go. And then it's actually adjustable here. So you've got adjustability for your light fixture. This thing just cracks me up. And then if you look here from the overhead shot, you'll see that you get 4 main modifiers. You get barn doors, you get a lantern, call it a China ball. It's really a big lantern here. We've got an open face reflector. It's so silly. And of course, a softbox. And what you do is you just go in here and you attach it again carefully, and I'm just gonna bear with me here. I don't want to break this thing. There we go. Sitting in front. Let's lower this a little bit. There we go. And check this out. So now I'm going to go ahead and press a button, the B button on here, which is the lower button. Right now in correlated color temperature, the lower button changes color temperature. The top button / knob, that's really what they are, changes the intensity. But if I take the lower one and I press it in, lo and behold, it's crazy. We actually have still intensity on the top knob, but the bottom one is actually effects. So this is pulse. Usually you have to crank the percentage to see some of these effects, but here's pulse. And then we go to storm, paparazzi, firework. This one you really have to crank up to see, and I don't think firework is very effective. FX explosion, lightning, flash. And you can change the percentage here. We've got bad bulb. You can see it's changing color temperature. Correlated color temperature loop. And then again, if you crank that up, it'll start going through a loop through the colors. And is there anything else? TV, I think I mentioned. There you go. So those fun ones. And then you go back to what we'll probably be using more normally, which are the correlated color temperatures. Pretty wild stuff. I actually think that what I should do is head over to the other set and do an episode where I use both of these in a real world setting. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.